Good day, everyone. So, this video lecture consists of our part 2 of our lesson 1. So, last Friday, we already discussed the origin and nature of research. We already defined the research, the importance of research in daily life, the characteristics of research, and research as a process. So, for this video lecture, we're going to continue our discussion for we're going to start with the ethics of research. Research according to purpose, according to methodology, according to design, and the difference between quantitative and qualitative research. Okay, so now let's proceed to ethics of research. Okay, so sabi dito, research in general requires the researcher's sense of accuracy and responsibility in managing or handling data. So you as a researcher, how you handle data, no? Data that you gathered from your respondents. So ayan yung concern ng ethics. Okay? So ethics also this is also rules that guides how to do research in a fair, honest, and respectful way. Okay? So you treat people or you treat your respondents with kindness and protect, of course, their privacy. Okay? Once na nasa data gathering na kayo, no? Syempre yung inyong respondents may binibigay na ah, mga private information. Now, you as a researcher, paano mo sila i-handle? Paano mo i-manage yung mga data na nanggagaling doon sa inyong respondent? Okay? And okay, you make sure that your that the people involved in your research ay hindi po, they doesn't hurt people physically, okay, emotionally or mentally. Okay, so if you're doing an interview, you must tell that your participants what it is for, para saan yung interview na yon. And make sure na sila ay hindi napilitang sumali. Okay? And of course, you must keep their answers private. Okay? So that's ethics of research. Now, we have what we call ethics of non-maleficence. Okay, maleficence. Now, ano po ito? So, according to Bound 2012, ethics of non-maleficence pertains to ensuring that the informants are not harmed in any way possible. So, you must ensure that your informants ay hindi po na-harm ng inyong research. So, paano po yun? So, you can consider this the following concept. Okay? First, dapat scientific soundness. Okay? Your research must be trustworthy. Ito dapat ay well-planned and useful. Pero, no, but for new researchers like you, mahirap tong i-achieve. Kaya nga kami nandito, yung kami mga research advisors, yung mga experts para i-supervise yung inyong research. Okay, now, next is consent. Okay? So sa consent, um, dapat it must be voluntary. Okay? Voluntary participant po ito. Actually, may dalawa dyan eh. Yung uh, informed consent and informed assent. No? So sa informed assent, ito yung ginagamit when a researcher asks an adult to join a study. Ay kapag informed assent naman, ito yung ginagamit ng mga researchers when the participant is still not in legal age, pero they can already understand kung ano yung inyong study. No? Okay? Para saan yung inyong study, including yung mga possible risk and benefits nito. Okay, again, that's informed assent and informed consent. Under consent. Okay? Now, next is informed validation. So sa informed validation, you're just going to validate, you're just going to confirm if what they said, no, kung ano yung sinabi ng participant ninyo was correctly written in the research. Kasi it will be unethical kapag you include statements na hindi naman galing sa participants nyo. Okay, so unethical yun. Okay? Now, next is confidentiality. Okay, so sa confidentiality, the identity of the participants, of course, should be kept private and protected. Baka mamaya isiwalat ninyo sa publiko ah, yung kanilang ah, private information. No? Kaya nga kapag kayo ay if you're going to do your data gathering, no, pag magi-interview na kayo, minsan hindi naman kailangan kunin yung name. Kaya nga minsan nakalagay sa research paper sa research paper yung respondent 1, respondent 2, respondent 3 kasi hindi naman necessary yung name. No? Hindi naman makakaapekto yung name ng respondent ninyo doon sa sagot nila. Okay? Now, next is exploitation. Okay? So being exploited in the conduct of research is usually attributed to the research participants. So the participants, no, dapat yung mga participants ninyo ay hindi nyo tinitake advantage. Okay? Dapat hindi sila treated unfairly. Mamaya kasi kayo yung nagbibigay ng oras para interviewin niyo sila, dapat mini-make sure ninyo na available sila. Okay? Kapag magkakonduct na kayo ng interview, since qualitative naman tayo, so mostly interview, observation yan. Okay? Next is misinterpretation. So sa misinterpretation, ito yung changing ng uh, you change the participant's answer. So na-misinterpret mo yung iyong ah, yung iyong participant na kung saan hindi na magiging accurate yung sagot ng iyong participant, ng iyong respondent. Okay, so dapat ma-ensure nyo na tama yung pagkaka-interpret para nandun pa rin yung accuracy. Okay, reliable pa rin yung inyong research. Okay, accurate. Now, next is identification of the participant by self or others. Okay, qualitative research requires a high level of responsibility on the part of the researchers. Whether the concerned are willing to divulge their identity or not, the researchers should responsibly handle the data with the utmost care. So whether the participants want to be known or not, okay, kayo as a researcher, dapat you must protect their privacy and treat the data with a great care and respect. Okay? So dapat you treat your data na nanggagaling sa respondent with care and respect. Okay? With utmost care. Okay? Now, we are done with the ethics of research. So let's proceed to research according to inquiry. Actually, research can be classified based on inquiry, based on purpose, based on method, and design. Okay, so but first let's discuss research inquiry. Okay, so research inquiry, the act of posing questions and investigating them to develop new knowledge or validate existing knowledge. So last Friday during our discussion, no, we already defined inquiry. Okay, so inquiry, no, we define it that inquiry, no, it is asking question to gain knowledge. Okay, so here you pose question, you investigate para makadevelop, no, ng bagong kaalaman or you just want to validate the existing knowledge. Okay? Now, under research inquiry, we have rationalistic research. Okay? So in rationalistic research, you usually start or you usually begins with a theory or idea which is already known. Okay? Now, after that, okay, the researchers use tools, no? Tools like surveys, like tests, okay, like interviews, observation, to gather information. Okay? Para i-check, no, kung ang theory ba ay true or correct. Okay? So ano ba yung theory na to? Ano ba yung theory pag sinabi nating theory? So this is a set of ideas, no? Set of ideas that aims to explain something. Sige, magbigay tayo ng example. For example, no, ito yung conflict theory, democratic theory, yung psychosocial development. Actually, magpo-fall under siya in social science. Okay? So, conflict theory. Let's say, gumamit ka ng conflict theory. Okay? So, yung conflict theory, actually, it explains yung hierarchy. Okay? Yung society is made up of groups na kung saan they compete for power or resources. So, this theory is according to Karl Marx. Okay? And yung research topic mo ay about a study on why some students fell left out in school due to social class. Okay? So you use conflict theory in that research topic. Okay? Next is democratic theory. Okay? So sa democratic theory, it states that power comes from the people. Kasi, no, yung people, they are the one who choose their leaders. So, yung pwede natin maging research topic natin dito, okay, a study on how students understand voting rights. Okay? Lalo na ito, this is very relevant today sa ating school kasi um, we are process of choosing our leaders, no, student leaders. So kayo as a yung student, dapat no, alam ninyo yung voting rights ninyo. Okay, dapat alam ninyo kung paano bumusisi ng mga kandidato. Okay? Next is Erickson's stages of psychosocial development. So this theory talks about people go through different challenges at each stage of life. So meron tong 8 stages of life. Now, ang pwede mo maging research topic dito is studying how teens form their identity in senior high school. Okay, so that's rationalistic research. Okay, now next is naturalistic research. So in this research, this type of research focuses on understanding how people think, feel, and act. So this research, no, ang aim lamang nito is to better understand how human behave, no? Meron bang reason kung bakit na ganito yung actions, yung culture, ano yung behavior ng mga tao. So, is there a reason behind that actions, that culture, the behavior of people? Okay? So, the researcher's main goal in this type of research is to better understand human behavior. And we have different uh, approach in naturalistic research. First is ethnography. So sa ethnography dito in this approach, no, the researchers immerse themselves in the environment of the respondent. Okay? O yung natural settings. Okay, bakit? No? Para pag-aralan nila, of course, yung kultura kung paano mamuhay yung kanilang respondent. Okay, for example, kung gusto mong pag-aralan yung mga Aita, okay? So pupunta ka sa kanilang lugar para mamuhay as an Aita rin. Okay? So usually maninirahan ka, matutulog ka sa kanilang bahay as an Aita. Okay? So ito yung mga example na research title for ethnography. Okay, so the cultural ecology of practitioner leaders, growing the good stuff, one literacy coaches approach to support teachers with high stakes testing, nurturing opportunities for educational leadership, how affordance and leadership interconnect, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that's ethnography. Again, sa ethnography, ikaw, researcher, you're going to immerse para obserbahan, para pag-aralan yung kultura ng mga tao na gusto mong pag-aralan o yung mga respondent mo. Okay? Yung subject mo. Okay? Next is phenomenology. So sa phenomenology, okay, it focuses on studying people's lived experience. Okay? So yung lived experience naman yung pinag-aaralan sa phenomenology. For example, the phenomenon of commuting stress, a lived experiences, perspective of college students traveling from Rizal to Manila daily. So dito pag-aaralan yung experiences ng mga college students na kung saan nag-aaral sa Manila at nakatira sa Rizal. So pag-aaralan dito yung yung lived experiences ng mga college student, no, yung kanilang experiences traveling from Rizal to Manila. Okay? That's phenomenology. Next is grounded theory. So sa grounded theory, the theory is developed from the data itself. The researcher doesn't start with a theory. Instead, they build a theory based on what they discover during the research. So dito sa grounded theory, data first, okay? Information first, then from that information, from that data, makabubuo ka na ng theory. Okay? Theory based on what the data says. Okay? So, data, then after data, makakaproduce siya, no, ng theory. Okay, so example, finding the groove, a grounded theory study on leading others to productive path. Okay, a grounded theory of connectivity and persistence in a limited residency doctoral program. Okay, and so on. Next is case study. So sa case study, it involves an in-depth, okay, in-depth investigation of a single case or a small number of cases within a real-life context. So here, instead of studying many people, okay, ikaw, researcher, you studies just one case and ito ay in detail, in-depth. Okay? For example, multiculturalism in technology-based education, case studies on ICT-supported approach. So, nakafocus lamang siya sa ICT. Okay? So, isang ah, isang case lang siya. Okay? And in-depth yung pag-aaral. Okay? Next is multiple case study on cyberbullying's impacts on adolescents' technology use and so on. So that's case study. Next is narrative. So sa narrative, it focuses on collecting and analyzing people's life, no? Huwag po kayong malilito sa narrative and phenomenology because narrative, okay, it is about understanding story. Okay? Para kang lang nagnarrate, para ka lang nagkikwento. But in phenomenology, it is about understanding lived experiences. Okay? So, sa phenomenology, no, dito tinutuklas ninyo kung ano yung what it feels like, no, to go through something. Okay, for example ng ating ating example kanina, no, about sa traveling ng isang college student from Rizal to Manila daily. So ano yung experience, no? Ano yung feeling na nag-go through ka doon sa klaseng experience na yun? Okay? Next is developmental research. And I think this is the last one for naturalistic research. I mean for research according to inquiry. Okay, so again sa research according to inquiry, we have rationalistic, naturalistic, and developmental research. So kung ang rationalistic, okay, gumagamit ng theory, then after that, you're going to use tools, no, para patunayan o i-prove kung tama ba ang theory. Sa naturalistic theory naman, naturalistic research, okay, nakafocus siya kung paano, how people think, no, feel, and act. Okay? So, yung main goal nito is to better understand the human behavior, yung naturalistic research. Okay? And lastly, yung developmental research. Dito naman, okay, sa developmental research, dapat makakapag-produce ka na ng product. Okay? Product or services na kung saan makakatulong sa pamumuhay ng mga tao. Usually, mga STEM student, yung mga gumagawa ng developmental research. Kasi, makakagawa sila ng produkto. Okay? And sometimes, yung mga HE. Okay? Yan, yung mga ICT. Okay? So, that's developmental research. Next is research purpose. So it refers to the goals. Okay? Purpose. Ano ba yung goal? Ano ba yung reason kung bakit ginawa mo ang study? Okay? Bakit mo kinonduct yung study nyo? And there are two reasons. Okay? The first one is baka mamaya gusto mo lang mas mapalalim mo yung knowledge and understanding mo. And ito yung tinatawag nating basic or fundamental or pure research. Again, dito sa basic, no, it focuses on learning and understanding new things for just for the sake of knowledge, just for the sake of understanding. Okay? O baka mamaya, no, gusto mong makahanap ng solusyon sa problema. Okay? So that's applied research. Okay? So again, sa applied research, you find solution to the problem, no? You aims to solve real problems. And the common example of this is action research. Okay? Yung action research where the researcher, okay, studies a problem, okay? Researcher studies a problem, then creates a solution and puts it into practice. Okay, so i-apply mo na. No? You're going to take an action, then apply mo sa iyong practice. Okay? So that's research according to purpose. Again, basic and applied research. Next is research according to methodology. Okay, so sa according to the methodology, okay, refers to the systematic approach or process that the researchers will strictly use in order to collect, analyze, and interpret data. So, kapag sinabi nating methodology, no, it refers to how you collect your data. Okay? So, ito yung specific tools mo, ito yung specific techniques mo that you use in the study to collect data. Okay? Not only that, also to interpret data in answering the research question. Okay? So ito yung pamamaraan mo, yung method mo kung paano ka nag-collect ng data at paano mo ito i-interpret. Okay? Now, we have first under methodology, we have qualitative research. Okay? And ngayong nasa grade 11 kayo, okay, qualitative yung gagawin ninyo. And of course, dapat yung research topic ninyo, meron na akong mga nabasa na research topic na gawa ninyo, ay dapat related sa inyong strand, which is Hume's. Okay? Mostly ang nababasa ko ay mga about sa yung student, no? Mental health ng yung student, no? Wala akong nabasang about sa social issues. So, uh, naka-focus lang kayo sa yung student. Okay? So, sana mayroon pa akong mabasa. Okay? Now, sa qualitative research, no, focuses on studying events, human behaviors, culture, and values like beliefs and perception. So, ibig sabihin, no, ang qualitative research, it focuses on the qualities. It focuses on the features of the subject. For example, yan, katulad yung behavior nila, yung events, yung kanilang kultura, yung values, yung kanilang life experiences, yung kanilang perceptions. So, yung mga data na makokollect ninyo from your respondents ay usually non-numerical. Okay? Like words. Ayan, in the form of words. Like their stories, no? Instead of numbers. So, you explore here in qualitative, you explore how, paano, no? And why, bakit, no? Bakit nangyari 'yon? Okay? You explore how and why something happens. Okay? That's qualitative. Next is quantitative. So sa quantitative research, no, looks at events or problems by using numbers and measurement. Now, kung si qualitative, use words to explain, okay? Use words to explain. But here, in quantitative research, naka-focus po siya on numbers and measurements. So, it collects data that can be counted, okay? That can be measured and analyzed statistically. Okay, so that's quantitative research. Now, last one for research method is mixed method or mixed research. Okay, so mixed methods research uses both qualitative and quantitative approach. Okay, so ito yung type of research that uses both quantitative method, no? So you use numbers, statistics, you use surveys, no? And also qualitative method. So you use interviews, you use observations to better understand a topic. So you use both method, no? Pinaghalo mo sa isang research, yung quantitative and qualitative research, no? For example, you give a survey. So survey, ito ay pang quantitative, no? So you give a survey to get data on how many hours students study. So gusto mong malaman kung gaano kadami, no, how many hours students study, kung gaano karaming oras sila nag-aaral by giving a survey. Okay? Pero hindi lang doon natatapos, no? Ikaw, no? Then you are going to do interviews. Okay, so yung interviews, that's qualitative. Okay, so you're going to interviews to ask how students feel about their study habits. Okay, so pinagsamang quantitative at qualitative. That's mixed method. Okay, now, okay, so now let's proceed to the last one, research according to design. So, research according to design, it refers to the overall plan or blueprint. So, this is your strategic plan, okay? Your strategic plan for how you are going to answer your research question. So, nandito yung strategies mo, nandito yung procedures, and yung structure kung paano i-collect and i-analyze yung data. Okay? So, this is your plan. Now, I think we have two types here. Okay, so we have two types here. The first one is experimental research. And under experimental research, we have first pure experimental. Okay? So pag sinabi natin pure experimental, ito yung design, no? Design that includes three main parts. The first one is manipulation. So sa manipulation, no, the researcher changes or controls one variable. Okay? Ano yung variable na yon? So ito yung independent variable, no? Last Friday we already discussed what is independent variable. So ito yung nagko-cause, ito yung factor. Okay? Now, sa manipulation, si researcher, no, researcher, no, uh, change, no, or control yung independent variable mo para malaman kung ano yung magiging epekto nito sa another variable, which is your dependent variable. Okay? So ito yung naging result or ito yung outcome. Okay? So that's manipulation. So you control your variables. You control the independent and dependent variable. You control the independent rather para malaman kung ano yung magiging epekto nito sa you manipulate your independent variable to see kung ano yung magiging epekto nito sa iyong dependent variable. Okay? Now, next is yung randomization. So sa randomization, no, participants are randomly assigned to different groups. And what are these groups? Okay? So pwede itong maging treatment group or control groups. Sa treatment groups, okay, ito yung nakaka-receive ng experiment treatment. Kaya nga siya treatment group. While yung control group naman does not receive the treatment. Okay, so, for example, sige sabihin natin, no? Gusto mong malaman yung effectivity ng study method ng mga student. Okay? So yung meron kang treatment group sa control group. So sa iyong treatment group, they use the new study method. Okay? So sa control group naman, kinontinue lang nila yung kanilang usual study methods. Okay? So meron kang treatment group na kung saan in-implement doon yung bagong new study method. So yun yung treatment mo. So sa control group naman, no, well, ah, hindi sila naka-receive ng treatment kasi kinontinue lang nila yung usual study habits nila. Okay? So that's randomization. Okay? So next is control. So ito yung control group na kung saan does not receive any treatment para malaman kung ano yung uh, comparison, no, to see, okay, so yung to see the comparison if the treatment, no, really made a difference. O may pagbabago ba? May difference ba kapag ang control group ay hindi naka-receive ng treatment? Okay? So next type under experimental research is quasi experimental research. So, quasi, a Latin word that means almost or partly but not fully. So, here in experimental research, it tries to study cause and effect relationship without the strict control. So, sabi nga dito, but lacks one key part, and that is usually random assignment of participants. Okay, so you don't randomly assign people to groups kasi dito sa pure experimental, no, okay, you randomly assign. Okay, you randomly assign kung sino yung mapupunta sa what do you call this? Sa treatment group and control group. Okay, but here in quasi experimental, you don't randomly assign people to groups. Okay, kaya nga siya almost or partly. Ang kulang na lang is itong usually random assignment of participant. Okay, so that's quasi experimental. Next is under research design, no, aside from experimental research, we have non-experimental research, and we have ito ay meron pang subcategories, no? Descriptive design, historical design, correlation design, ex post facto design, and evaluation design. So let us discuss first the descriptive design. So dito sa descriptive design, you are just simply describing the features or characteristic of a group. So ikaw dito, you do not explain why something is happening. No? Hindi mo yung agenda dito sa descriptive design. Or hindi ito nagsusuri, hindi ito nagsistudy ng cause and effect relationship. No, you are just simply describing the features or the characteristic of your respondent, okay, or a certain event. Now, example nito is descriptive study on the political views of grade 12 UMS student. So, yung political views of grade 12 UMS student. Okay? Now, next is historical design. So, dito, features critically investigation of past events, developments, as well as experiences. So, here, you study and analyze past events. Okay? Doon lang ba natatapos yun? Siyempre hindi, no? You also understand how past events influence the present or even the future. Okay? For example, no? The evolution of student activism in the Philippines, no? So from martial law to the present. So here you're going to see, no, to analyze yung evolution ng student activism in the Philippines. Okay, so historical design po 'yun. Okay? Now next is correlation. So here in correlation, you use it to find out if two things are related to each other. Okay, so sabi dito, used to find out if there is a relationship between the two sets of data. Okay, for example, here, a study on the link between reading habits and vocabulary skills among grade 12 students. So here, you're going to check if yung reading habits, yung frequent readers, ay meron bang stronger vocabulary skills. So you're going to examine the relationship of reading habits and vocabulary skills. Okay, so ayun yung correlation. Now, next is ex post facto design. So in ex post facto design, this type of research is usually considered quasi-experimental, but it's often grouped under non-experimental designs. This type of research studies something that has already happened. The researcher does not control what caused it, which is why it is not a full experiment. So here, you just studies events or behavior that's already happened, no, and try to find out what caused them. Okay? So again, this design studies events or behaviors that already happened. Ito, something that has already happened, sabi dito. And you try to find out what caused them.